white cheddar grits today. So what we need to do is talk about our mise en place here. We have all of our ingredients laid out in front of us. There's very few. It's very easy. It's 4 to 1. Always when you're doing polenta, grits, farina, whatever it is, it's 4 to 1. So 4 cups of liquid, water in this case, to 1 cup of grits or cornmeal. So I already have my water boiling. Do that first. Take your, and there is no seasoning in this water. You always want to control your seasoning after it's all done. So we got 4 cups of water going here. I'm just going to throw just like a tablespoon in and whisk it. You can kind of see it getting a little bit cloudy and foaming up. This just gets us started. Now, as you add it, use a fine whisk like this. Keep it moving. Otherwise, it'll clump right up, and you'll have these lumpy clumps, and you'll have to pass it through a coarse strainer to get those out. In fact, you really will never really get them out. So go slow, whisking briskly and very fast. I always whisk sort of in an S pattern. See, now that's starting to come together. Putting the last of our cup in there. There we go. So as you can see, that's going to start to come together. I'm going to flare the heat up just a little bit, get it bubbling. It'll start to tighten up pretty quickly. Now, you want to cook the raw taste out of it, so we're going to let this roll for a little bit and also get to the right consistency. While we're doing that, let's just let that bubble away for a little teeny bit. We're going to squeeze a little lemon juice. I like to, even though this isn't traditional necessarily, I like to put a little acidity into it, and my favorite form of acidity is lemon juice. So we're just going to take a fresh lemon here, cut it in half. Always keep your fingers away from the blade, and then squeeze it. We're going to get some of this fresh lemon juice in there, and that'll be used for seasoning. I use a basket strainer so that we do not have any seeds in it. I love pulp, but I don't like the seeds. Cool. We've got 1 lemon. We'll stick with that for right now and just see how that works. And use that for our seasoning of our 4 cups of polenta. Let's go over here and see how we're doing. It's starting to tighten up, as you can see right here. It's starting to come together a little bit. Now this will, we're going to let this roll for a little bit longer. So you want to leave it for, say, 3 to 7 minutes and, cook some of that raw flavor out of it. Especially if you're going to serve it right away, you might even want to go 10 minutes. Now, it's bubbling pretty well right now. It's starting to come to a good consistency. Now, you can go in a number of different directions here. You can pour this in a pan, let it cool, cut it into shapes, and fry it. Or you can serve it like a porridge like this. In fact, we're going to do the soft style. So I'm going to pull it off a little bit early because I want that consistency to be just like that. Now, right away, just so it doesn't create a crust on top, I'm going to put a little bit of fat. Now you can use olive oil, but in this case, since it is grits, we're going to go the dairy route. And by putting a little butter fat in here, that's going to create a little bit of looseness and shine, and it won't bind up. And it'll prevent it from forming a really hard crust on top. It should look like, applesauce, baby food, something like that, or very, very loose mashed potatoes. Now, this is white cheddar. We're going to throw a little bit of this in. Now, I've got a lot of white cheddar here. Obviously, this is cheddar to taste. Now, if you're really crazy, to this same portion, you can put up to a 1/2 or 3/4 of a pound in. But that's really cheddar grits. I don't know if you want to do that. I'm going to put about a 1/4 pound in here. Then I'm going to season it up real good with some salt and some lemon. I'm just going to put a little lemon juice in at a time, about a teaspoon at a time. And as I go along, I'm stirring it, maybe a pinch more salt. And then what I want to do is start tasting it. Now, instead of dirtying up a lot of tasting spoons, you never want to taste and put a spoon back in. But what I do is a little trick like this. I just drop it on my spoon. That way I can reuse the same spoon. That's really pretty good. Now, since this is going to be used as a base for, you can use it for pork chop, pork tenderloin. You can use it for various kinds of meaty, flaky fish. You can put it under that. You can just have it simply with sauteed collard greens and bacon if you want. And that really works very, very well. So I'm going to take one more taste to adjust seasoning. But since you want this to be pretty boldly flavored, a touch more lemon and a touch more salt. And we're going to be there. So as we finish up here, you can use this. It's this is not dairy-free, but it is gluten-free. And it's a great replacement for a starch for mashed potatoes or rice or certainly anything like that. And I just think it has multiple uses from breakfast to lunch to dinner, whether it's made into a cake or pan-seared or folded in like this, or you put a sunny side egg over it. You know, whatever it is, I think you got a great start to using it for a number of different things. So there you are. 1, 2, 3, easy grits. Enjoy it.